Three types of men in a relationship. And this is important for those who like to be married someday or would just like a stable, committed relationship. And I've actually have been two of these people, but now obviously I'm only one. One. The provider. The provider is someone who is nurturing. They are dependable. You can actually rely on them. They are focused to their goals. They have a bigger purpose. They don't get distracted by their distraction. They're just clear on what they want. They're career minded. They're family orientated. You can trust this person to be the leader of the household. And this is something that I have now become, and in a role in which I have molded myself into. And this sort of person, they're strong-minded. They take charge. They take risks, and they also have accountability and responsibility because we make mistakes and we are always learning. We are always growing. But this person in a relationship is important for someone who actually just wants to settle down. They want to be financially secured. They want to be. They want to know that their husband puts the family as number one, which is important. I couldn't imagine being a husband or a father and I don't put my family first. I can't imagine going to parties at being this personal at this age. It's kind of bad, but it's kind of a joke. I mean, because people who party are or go on adventures, they're looking for something, they're seeking for something. And when they're seeking for something, normally they're unable to fill that void. So being the provider is important if you want to settle down or be married to someone because they need to be focused. They need to have a goal bigger than themselves because it gives them motivation to wake up, to do the things that they need to do in terms of taking care of the household, in terms of taking care of the family. And this is something I can proudly be happily say that I am now the provider. Number two, the adventurer. Although there is nothing wrong with dating an adventurer, because normally these dating experiences are often exciting. I was once the adventurer. While I was working, I had a very lucrative job and I was able to just travel the world whenever, wherever I want. And I knew I had luckily for me, I had quite a bit of self-awareness from an early age due to having amazing parents, caring parents who worked their butt off to become successful and to retire at an early age. I've got taught on how to understand myself and to be aware of my thoughts and to be aware of how I treat others. So I knew I was an adventurer. And these people are normally just free spirited. They're just after thrills. And yes, dating someone like this is exciting because you don't know what tomorrow is. We are very spontaneous. Like, there's been times where I was like, oh, man, I'm bored. They've been going like cheap holidays. And they'll be like, yo, they got this deal to go to Mexico for like 80% off. It's like, okay, I'm going tomorrow. Let me get my passport. And that's it. And dating someone who's an adventurer, although very exciting, don't think that this person is ready to settle down, get married, or have kids because no, they are not. I mean, people do change, don't get me wrong, but just understand and expect that this person is an adventurer. And if you want kids in the next couple of years, I wouldn't. I will definitely have a conversation first. So have a conversation and ask them. And people normally tell the truth. They tell you who they are. And if they lie to you, you will know because it will show in their actions. I wasn't a big saver. I remember one time I just got so excited and I just literally lost, first time ever going to the casino, and just lost 10 grand just like that. This is the person that you do not want as a partner. I was not relationship material. I knew that. That's why I wasn't in a relationship. Now, do you think I'll go to the casino and spend 10 grand just like that? No. That is going into investments, into my future kids plan, and just helping around just with the family. I would never do something like that. But knowing that is just very important, especially if you want to settle down with someone. Because even though it is exciting, dating an adventurer, you have to get out your feelings. And I know that's hard because females are emotional beings, but you just have to be realistic with yourself and say, yes, it's okay to have fun and games and sometimes, but I'm a female. I have a clock on my body. There's a healthy time when to have kids and how important it is for you to actually have kids. And you need to actually love yourself enough just to say, I know what I want. I know the type of person who I need in order to achieve what I want. And you just need to just pull the plaster off. I know it's going to hurt in the beginning, but it's going to be worth it because you don't want someone that's always going to be spontaneous, because unless you're that person, but you won't have the family that you want in the long run. And yes, it might be all fun and games for the first 5-10 years, but you'll get tired and you just want to just settle. And honestly, you just want to be at peace. And just want to tell you something, for someone who actually was adventurous, peace is boring. But I am happy with boring. This is the happiest I've ever been in my life. I don't mind going on a little chill holidays with my families and just relaxing and just reading a book in a different country and enjoying their weather and enjoying their food and just enjoying their buildings and just their important heritage that country has. I don't think I will ever go to another party. I haven't partied in years and I do not miss it. I'm not a kid no more. And if you're an adult who actually parties, you probably do need to do some self-reflection, because you're distracting yourself from something that you don't wanna confront within you. You have the drifter. And the drifter is normally someone who is just undecisive. They go through life aimlessly. They're just existing to exist because they have to. So normally their days are just repetitive and they seek easy, simple gratification, whether that be whatever substance that they use, or they just quickly just go onto something, like they've been invited to a party, they just go for that couple of hours of euphoria that makes them happy. So there's no long-term planning. And dating someone who's a drifter can be exhausting and frustrating, because although sometimes you see something good in them, or they tell you something, or they tell you that they're going to change, but their words don't really mean anything, because it's the feeling that they make you in that moment. So a lie is just another euphoric chase for them. So they'll tell you that they've changed, they'll tell you that they do this, they'll tell you that they do that, and you believe it for a couple of seconds, and then you see afterwards they were just lying in that moment just to get what they want because it made them happy. And it's important to know this, because I see a lot of females have kids with these sort of person, and they end up splitting up a couple of years or however long, and now you have a baby with someone you couldn't actually build and grow with, and then you're saying this person is this, that, and that, but you chose them. You should have known these traits from the beginning. If someone has no goals and you see it in their action, what is their daily habit? What do they do daily? Do they read? Do they study? Do they work? Do they build? Do they save? Do they invest? What do they do? And you can tell a drifter, although I don't have any friends or I don't have anyone around me who's a drifter, you can just tell they're just someone who just goes through life just like meh. They don't care. They don't want to be better. There's no goals. They have no purpose. They don't want to achieve nothing bigger than themselves. They just want to achieve through getting through the day, which is okay, but just know what to expect in the future. Because if you want to see your future, look at your daily habits. That would be your future. What you do daily would be your future. So that's something you can bear in mind because there's a lot of babies with single mothers and single fathers. And I mean, you can see these habits from the beginning. So it's just something to be self aware, just to avoid this, because single parenthood is a pandemic. That is a pandemic because you can really tell someone who comes from a single parent home and is sad. And I know a lot of people who come from a single parent home will lash out and say, no, that's not true. But from my experience and the studies that I've read, from the books that I've read, I can see it. And there has been a few people who come from single parent homes that done amazing, self-aware, have emotional intelligence. But that's very few. I'm talking about the masses. I'm talking about the most. I'm not talking about the small 7% of people who do good. So it's just something to be mindful of. And I'm not attacking you. You are amazing. You can always change. And I do believe in you. And I hope you found some lesson or some guidance in this video because that's why I'm here. And I really do appreciate you watching. I have a book out, The Ultimate Life and Relationship Guide. It's very helpful. It gives real life scenarios. It'll be in the link below. And thank you for watching. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you in the next one.